At first, it took me a while to understand the Firefly Funhouse. Actually, took me a second viewing to really like it for what it was because I'm not gonna lie, the whole John Cena appearing as Hollywood Hulk Hogan did not make sense to me. But
I mean, I could, it made a little sense to me because more or less they're looking at him as he's perceived by a lot of people, and a lot, of course, we hear things from other wrestlers, they used to work there. I guess how much of a hog he was for the TV time and whatnot, and being the big star for so many years. That's the only thing I could, myself perceived it as. But it was entertaining for a little bit for what it was. Just I just wasn't overly into it. But they did what they did, and then I don't know, maybe Cena will come back for this year's WrestleMania.
Yeah, I don't know. I think he might be done, and if he is, good for him. I mean, he got out earlier than others. I kind of would like to see him do more commentating because I think even though he might not be able to do much in the ring at this point, I think he kind of like Jericho has the ability to have the gift of gab. And I kind of would like to see, even if Miz wants to retire, I like to see Miz do commentating. I think Miz would be a great heel commentator.
I think you would too, honestly. I think when it's time, eventually in the future comes up, I think you make a good heel commentator in the future, honestly. Cena on commentating, I don't think that would happen unless, they might do it for a special occasion, but I don't see him being a full-time commentator, obviously be a face commentator. But, I wouldn't mind it, just to at least try it out once, see how it goes. But I don't think Cena's quite retired, done yet. I mean, he don't have to be there. He don't need to be there. But if he does, definitely don't need to be world champion. I say I leave that one alone. But, of course, what it kind of gets on my mind is when I say once he wins the title again, he'll break the record, which is not exactly the case because Flair's won it a few more times than 16, but that's just we'll leave it at that. But we'll see Cena, I'm sure, somewhere down the road. He's just, he's a very special attraction, and why put your special attraction every week? So, and I understand. And he has things he has to do, things he wants to do, goals he has outside the wrestling business. And so that's cool. He just done everything there is to do.
I think he wants to become visible.
He might.
So we had a few things happen this year outside of WWE.
Yeah.
So there's a few things that happened, including Jon Moxley having the title, I think either the whole year or majority of the year.
He won it in January, Revolution. He lost it, when was it, December? Yeah, just recently, right? I know it's just recently, I know that. I mean,
it was November or December. Is when he lost it to Kenny Omega. And it was I can tell you because it's the same week that Moxley announced that Renee was pregnant.
Yeah. So he kept it for almost a year. Practically a year. So
November 19th is when he revealed it. So he would have lost it either that night or the following week.
So he had for what? 10 and a half months?
10 months? Something like that.
Yeah.
And I feel bad. Okay, so Mox went on a tear, but I feel bad because I remember that they had the match. It was either May or June that it was at Double or Nothing where he faced Brody Lee in that match, and you could tell that the original plan was for Brody Lee to win the title, but because of the pandemic, which I don't blame him, I think Moxley should have kept it until they got people in the stands because it's more of a shock value at that point for Mox to lose it. But Brody Lee missed his chance to win the title because of the pandemic. And yes, it added prestige to the title because Moxley held that thing for forever. But it kind of makes me feel bad for what happened to Brody Lee at the end of this year because he had the opportunity to get it, and I was completely down on him winning it at that point. Which now, looking back, I kind of wish he did and actually had a world title to his name before what happened.
Yeah. I mean, he definitely was a world title contender, and definitely would have been world champion eventually. Yeah, unfortunately, that's not going to happen. Unfortunate, but he's always. I was going to sound like emotional, whatever you want to call it. He's obviously a world champion in a lot of people's eyes, so a lot of people's hearts. So I'm like emotional for sensitive for a second there, being nice, and that's true. But they had a great match. And they knew each other very well in the ring and also outside the ring, I believe, and been traveling down the roads for years. But anyways, that was a great match though.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was. It was. I think that was the only pay-per-view I ordered for AEW this year, and I actually looked to buy the DVD recently.
Which
I actually think I might order tonight. But that was one of the things that happened, and this was just a few months into Brody Lee showing up and being the exalted one of the Dark Order, because the WWE had those cuts, and he made it to AEW. And from what I've heard, it was his idea wholeheartedly to take the Dark Order, which kudos to him, because they were definitely directionless until he took over.
Yeah, you saw they were needing that piece of the puzzle, and there were rumors or whatnot going around Matt Hardy being the exalted one.
Yeah, I thought it was him.
I thought it was him too, and honestly, it worked out the best. It wasn't. He's also an option that maybe he's been having heel moments here in the last several weeks, maybe over a month now, and I say over a month now, so it has been. But I'm not saying he's going to be the exalted one as far as another Brody Lee, but he could take the reins with Dark Order, chooses to. But I don't know if he has that. He could tweak his character, but I don't think it's it's just another option. Based on what I'm saying, if they would choose to go that direction, but I don't think they're gonna. I mean, I'm sure they're gonna keep Dark Order, but I don't know what they're gonna. Obviously, the direction they're gonna go.
I don't either. I've always liked the Dark Order. I don't know what direction they're gonna go into, but at least now you have more than just Stu Grayson and Evil Uno. You have Ten, who's a prominent character. You have Silver and Reynolds and Angels as prominent characters, and Silver and Reynolds are proven to be a really good tag team.
Oh yeah, I've seen John Silver, man. I just thought, man, he had something special about him. I've seen him wrestle there. I'm not saying he never had anything special, but I've seen more of him on Wednesday night. I'm like, this dude, give him time. He's going, he's at least going to be Michelin contender for the TNT title. And I just saw something special in that guy that night, where he's able to really show more of himself, what he's capable of. And I was impressed, honestly.
Yeah, and one of the other things with the Dark Order, they have this Colt Cabana story, which Colt Cabana was trying to impress Mr. Brody Lee. I don't know what they're going to do at that point, and I think Anna Jay is part of Dark Order as well. But either way, you had Colt Cabana, and Colt Cabana weirdly didn't necessarily fit the Dark Order, but he kind of fits the Dark Order. And it's kind of odd with that, because he's more of a comedy character.
Yeah. Yeah, it's different type of people, different characters inside that Dark Order, and see who fits better. But they all have something different to bring to that faction.
And with Brody Lee coming to AEW, it's also, we got to notice that of the shows that paid tribute to him, whether it be Brody Lee, Luke Harper, or John Huber, whichever name they decide to name it after, AEW did the best with it, which some people, right, it's understandable, but at the same time, you would expect more from WWE. Granted, he's with a different company at this point, but he was there for several years.
Yeah, I know. I thought they could have done a little bit more. Honestly, I felt they could have done a 10-bell salute, wore some armband or something. I felt like, I agree. I felt like, it was nice that they obviously they put his face there on the screen for a minute, but I just like, they could have done a little more. Honestly, this is not just about work for a company more. We don't do stuff for you got to do something. He gave a lot of that company. That's just how I feel about it. I know people.
You're not the only one. A lot of people, or even not current WWE guys, but former WWE guys, basically felt the same way. And I've heard people make excuses like, "Oh, well, he's no longer with WWE." It doesn't matter. Do you think Road Warrior Animal was with WWE when he passed? No.
Mm-hmm.
I think Pat Patterson was though. But either way, I think they did more for Chad Gaspard even. And you can't really hold it against John Huber at that point for going to a different company. No. He wasn't getting the respect he deserved at WWE. He wanted something else, and he got that something else.
They saw how much even WWE employees loved him, and
right.
It was a nice thing to also see a lot of tweets from WWE wrestlers about they watched the tribute show in AEW, so that said a whole lot. I was like, man, that's impressive. I don't know how many people watch AEW from WWE. I don't know, but that showed a whole lot of love and respect from the wrestlers he spent so much time with, and so that was definitely sweet and very respectful. So glad they
And AEW even brought in Eric Rowan to be part of it and let him hold up a sign and things like that.
Yeah.
AEW retired the TNT, which, before I jump to that, Chris Jericho kept calling him Eric Rowan. You could tell Excalibur's just like, Redbeard. Like, please don't get us sued, Jericho. Shut up. They made Brody Lee Jr. or whatever you're going to end up using his name as. -1, and that they retired the title as it was the TNT title, so no one else is going to wear that version of the TNT title. Darby Allin, who just won it earlier this year from Cody, right? It was Cody Rhodes. Because it went from Cody Rhodes to Brody Lee, from Brody Lee to Cody Rhodes, and then Cody Rhodes to Darby Allin. Which Darby Allin was up and comer this year. And him and Orange Cassidy kind of came into their own this year.
Go back to one thing. I was just scrolling through something just looking at something the other day on the internet, and we all know how the internet can be. But there was somebody out there who was like, why do they sign this young man to a contract? They signed Brody Lee Jr. -1 to a contract. When he turns 18, he can wrestle. It's like, he may change his mind. Who he does, I'm sure they're not going to sue him for not being a wrestler. Just, it was something nice that they did. Now, if he decides, hey, I'm going to be a wrestler, when I'm an adult, then I'm sure they will. Obviously, hey, you have a contract with us. Come on, just, come on aboard. But they know that he's a young kid and things change and whatnot. So it's not they're going to take him to court. I highly doubt that.
No, they won't. They won't. Britt Baker shared a video where Brody Lee Jr. was beating up on Adam Cole.
Yeah, I've seen that. Actually, today I've seen that. I seen this morning there was a few wrestlers in a dressing room. He was beating up on it with a kendo stick. It's all I've seen.
Yeah, well, one of them was Adam Cole from NXT.
The one was out. Okay, that don't surprise me. Obviously, close friends out there, and obviously he's with Britt Baker too. But
right.
It's cool. I saw that this morning on Instagram. I think it was.
Yeah, and it's good how they took care of him. And then realistically, they want to take care of his family, which good on AEW and good on AEW for being human. For we like to see that occasionally from wrestling companies.
Yeah,
Vince.
Truth. Oh my God! They actually named Brody Lee Jr. Wrestler of the Week too.
Yeah, which is kind of strange, but you're right. Yeah, They did.
That was nice. Yeah,